Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to an episode of Top Tier Talk. We are now on episode 8, which is Match Week 22 and 23, I believe. So to start off, we're covering the Man United games, both of 22 and 23. So to start off, Man United 9, Southampton nil. Shavez, what do you have to say about
Just sounds so beautiful when it comes out of your mouth, honestly.
that?
A very, very underrated
Calling me
performance, I
beautiful.
think. No, your voice.
Nah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, my voice, yeah, thank you.
that's why you're the host. But yeah, what's it called? I think like people haven't really a lot of what I didn't like was after the game. A lot of the game was just about VAR. People have gone away from the fact that we're the third team ever to score 9 in a Prem game, and that's quite ridiculous. I don't care how many men we played against. You see 9 men being played against all the time. Southampton were against Newcastle and it was 9 men. So yeah, I thought we played really well. In terms of our attack, it's looked the most balanced since Fergie's left for me, just in terms of creating chances and how we're scoring goals. We miss chances a lot, but at least we have a system where we're creating them. So that's all I could really say about that 9-0, honestly. I'd rather talk about the next game, which is the problem. As good as our attack is, and as good as Greenwood, Cavani, Rashford, and Bruno as a front four, our back, whatever it is behind that, is still not what it needs to be to win a title. And I feel like we need another window to sort that out. Again, a lot of people talk about Maguire and who he needs to partner, but I think there has to be a conversation about what if we took Maguire out of the team for a while. I don't have a problem with Maguire being the captain of our club, but if it means that he's immune to being taken out of the team, then that's wrong. Just because he's captain, it doesn't mean he has to start every game. So for me, Bailly and Lindelof should be tested out. And yeah, that whole game was Maguire. I thought that whole game was Maguire's fault. Just the last goal. You've seen the picture. Yeah, he kept
I'm just trying to think. Weren't Leicester Southampton 9-0 though? Weren't they the first? Weren't Leicester the first team?
I said there's 3 9-0s in history.
There's only ever been 3, and they were the third.
So we owned that twice, and yeah.
Shavez, one point I wanted to make is who would you want to bring in if you said you wanted another window? Who would be like the players you'd want to?
So we need a player that can do the job of Fred and McTominay as one player. Like you have Kante or Leicester have Ndidi. A player like that. We don't have that. Matic is too old now, and he used to be able to do it. And then a centre back that is left-footed, up in Meccano, someone like that would be great. But yeah, we're not there yet. It's quite obvious. The second would be an overachievement for me, and if we keep it, it's a great season as long as we win a trophy.
How heartbroken were you when that third goal went in from Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
I'm used to it. It's happened before against Everton where they score in the last minute. I don't even get angry anymore. It's just acceptance.
Fair enough. You just
Can I just mention that sums up the season, doesn't it? Like leading 2-0 and then it just all changes. Leading 3-2 and then the last gasp free kick and fucking DCL scores. You know what I mean? DCL.
Yeah.
But yes.
So it's just unlucky for United.
It's bad affair, but yeah,
it is what it is at the end of the day.
It does sum up the season. Like Everton started off well, didn't they? Like under Ancelotti, but they even dipped form. Like I know James got injured, and then they just dropped. But then all small teams, it's just such a weird season, isn't it?
That's exactly it.
Well, one thing we never see is Man United playing well and not winning. We always either play badly and win, or play badly and lose, or we never play well and not get what we deserve. So that was kind of weird.
I just like the way it simmered. I just like the way it simmered. It's like, our Stonewall record or whatever it said. I know you said when you're leading or whatever, you was like, we never let the lead slip and we always fucking win, and then they go and draw.
No, it's not. We always win. It's we were unbeaten at half time.
You mean unbeaten?
We've led.
So winning or drawing?
That record's just always been there, and so it's just one of those things.
It's still crucial if you're gonna contend though. It's crucial points to drop in it. Really, I think personally, I know what you're saying, but it's 2 points that could extra for you.
We were always going to fall off at some point. We were just enjoying it. Couldn't be there.
Yeah.
More
will be done.
It's just a quick question for Nick then, Nick Riley. So Nick, basing off of Man City's form at the moment, obviously you guys are like the title contenders at the moment. Everyone's thinking, you know what, City's going to go on and win this. Basing it off obviously as the 9-0 Southampton score goes, do you reckon the derby a little bit juicy then? Do you reckon you might be able to get a win out of that, or what do you reckon will happen?
To be honest, I think it's become more of an important game for United than it has for us now, because even yesterday's game, if we drew that rather than won, it still would have been, looking pretty clear for us to go on and win the league with the games in hand. But the Manchester derby is always feisty. Whether one team's 18th and the other team would be first. It's always going to be that intensity. So
yeah. That's exactly it. It's just good now that both teams are first and second now. So as Shavez, as Dave says on this Zoom podcast. But moving on to the Chelsea. Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, it's what we were saying about Radius City. Radius City is if he's in a dugout, but
yeah,
it's like in it just typical. Like as we were all saying, once they do hit a run of form and get them games going, Pep, his style of football, there's no looking back for them. So they're even 10 points clear of last year's champions with a game in hand. It just goes to show that, Nick, you were sitting like what, 7th or 8th for a good 3-4 weeks, wouldn't you? Like you wasn't anywhere.
Yeah. It was sort of like everyone was writing us off, like saying, because we sort of lingered, like you were saying, around 7th, 8th, and then what people weren't taking into account is that we had games in hand, we hadn't, sort of hit our run of form. We had a lot of injuries, and then obviously everything started to sort of fix itself. And then you see obviously how much difference 2 months can make.
That's exactly it.
Mental quality.
Moving on to the Chelsea games, boys. Amir and Nick. Start off with the. I guess you guys will like this a lot, especially you, Nick. Chelsea 1, Spurs 0.
the old front wheel skids. Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
Listen, I know previous episodes I've gone on about what's wrong with like when Frank was in charge and what's like picking up under Tuchel, but I'm not going to say too much. You can tell by my expressions. I'm yet again another game that's we're just already under Tuchel. We're now 4 unbeaten. And it seems that consistency, that's what he's got as a manager. We should have won the first game against Wolves, but since then, max points, and it's just his style of football. It's suiting our players. But Spurs, they were never in it. I know, like, all you lot must have watched a game, and so many outsiders said that. Like, what I was saying about Kane and Son being together, it's so true, because Son on his own, he just looks like a lost sheep. It's like...
Yeah.
But you just give him the ball and it's like he's looking for his partner in crime, Kane, and he's not on a pitch, so he don't know what to do with it. And we just completely manipulated the game. I know, all right, we won by penalty, but even then, without a player like Kane in a London derby, it's still going to be that kind of game that's by 1 goal. I mean, we had so many chances to score 3 or 4, but winning by a penalty, winning by the 1 goal, so be it, because we were dominant anyway. It's always nice to get a London derby win, and especially against Spurs, because I fucking hate it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm happy. Even though both of you are rivals, I hate Spurs the worst.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Dan?
Well, no, I just think everyone here hates Spurs. I've got a couple of points as well. I'd like to move on to ask Amir and Nick as well. But Amir can input, obviously, and then I'll make them afterwards.
I'll quickly go, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1-0. Don't know what happened there, but 1-0, yeah, it was good. We were buzzing, obviously, but we were quite wasteful during the game. I think Nick said 4-5-0 we should have won, was it?
Mm-hmm.
But we were a bit wasteful, in some situations. In the last 20 minutes, Jesus Christ. The header by Vinicius, like, oh my God, I thought that was in. So if he scored that, it was 1-1, I'd have been so pissed. Like, go on.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, it's like, it would be all to waste. But even with the header, it's like we were letting him have it because we knew he was going to miss it. But you can't underestimate a chance like that, because whether it's Vinicius or whoever it was, if that was Kane, that's a goal.
I think that was Kane, that's a goal.
100%.
Kane, obviously.
Well, obviously, I would have put it in the back of the net, but obviously we can't dwell on the chances. No,
speaking like him now,
I'm impersonating him so much, I'm turning into him.
Yeah,
but, no, it's like we were comfortable with them having that chance because we were so dominant. And can I just mention that the way Tuchel played James and Hudson-Odoi, as opposed to Hudson-Odoi on his own and not playing James, it just goes to show that right-hand side, Davis was so exposed. Like all the chances, James and Cho linking up, unbelievable. The amount of chances. I think it was about they showed a stat when the game was live that it was like 87% of chances down the right hand side from us. It just goes to show it's so effective for them two together. James's power, strength, pace, same as Hudson-Odoi. They bring so many chances to the teams. But yeah, it's fucking. I'm buzzing with it.
Nice, yeah. No, it's a good win for you
guys.
guys.
It's a poor Spurs side.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a poor Spurs side in my opinion as well. So,
well, yeah, as Nick said, it's like Harry Kane was gone out of the team, so it's kind of like that. As you said, Nick, last episode, it's like Toast without Lurpak. They're missing their Lurpak, aren't they? So it's just Toast is plain and boring. It's just useless, isn't it? It's just like,
you ain't going to have it plain because it's going to be like
crunchy.
Food,
just, yeah. It's not good. Exactly. Dan, what was your point you want to bring up about it?
Well, so one of them being obviously it was a comfortable game. I watched it, and Spurs were literally a nothing team, as everyone that watched the game knows. It was an awful display of football, but it was as much of a comfortable one that it was. One, there was a very, very dangerous scoreline. Obviously, as you mentioned, the Vinicius header and the couple of chances that they did have towards the end of the game. As you said, if they take them, it would have been an undeserved point for Spurs. It's living dangerously. That was just what I was going to say. Obviously, Amir covered that when he mentioned the Vinicius chance and whatever. But just back to what Nick said as well about Tuchel and stuff. I think you mentioned it beforehand about Lampard, obviously, when he left and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, before he left, sorry, you was up to get someone else in and get a managerial bounce. I've seen quite a lot of people going, you can't, as well as Chelsea are playing, you can't judge them or say they're going to do this or do that because you can't judge a team off 4 games. You're always going to get a spell of 4, 5, 10 games where everyone's going to try, you're going to get good results and they're all going to come in. And then 15, 20 games down the line, you're back to how you were under Lampard or on par with that because everyone's stopped trying and
or it's still going to go, yeah.
You're in the troughs again.
No, it's just obviously what I was saying about so far. It's very positive is what I'm saying, is in terms of how Frank done so well last season, and then it's like he dropped off with the new calibre of players we had and didn't know how to, there was no different plans, plan B. But my point was, as soon as Tuchel's come in, he's got a set strategy, set formation, and we're 4 games unbeaten with him. So, as you said, if that's 15 games down the line and we start having a bit of a blip, which I definitely don't think will happen, then, well, the way this season's going, you never know. But I'm saying so far, the way it's looking, we're looking very good under him. So let's hope that does continue. I'm positive it will continue because when we first appointed him, I was very, very happy with that and confident because I said, I know we'd do well, and he's shown it so far. So I reckon, unlike going on a blip, I'm pretty sure it will continue. But no, it's as we've all said before, it's one of them seasons where you could have the best manager and just come up against an outfit and it can be such a booky game, all small teams.
So what about the Chelsea-Sheffield game, boys? What do you have to think about that? 2-1 victory.
Yeah, again, carrying on from the Tottenham game. Literally just continue where we left off. Positive football going forward again. I mean, Sheffield United are another bogey team in the league. They're a typical Stoke team. But yeah, got another 3 points. They're literally just coming. Still unbeaten, 4 games. And it's not easy playing away to them. Even though they're bottom and they're doing, they were doing really well last season and they're up there, but
they're falling off now.
But it's still not easy the way this season's going. But yeah, happy.
3 points, 3 points, yeah.
Another 3 points, just, go and get it again.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, very happy. Happy Werner got man of the match. Did everything apart from the goal, but I'm sure that will come very soon.
Yeah, same as that, by the way. Let me just add Werner. Werner looking very sharp. Obviously didn't score, but got both assists if you count the penalty. I'm going to count it, but
Nick, what do you think of Rudiger's performance?
The assist to Mount. The assist to Mount. Mount's another player on fire at the moment. Playing really, really well. Yeah, I see you adding that saucy comment in. Yeah, I think that obviously respect Tuchel, but I think at the
trying to find the right words.
No, I think at the moment, I'd have Zuma over him, or if we still had Tomori, I'd pick maybe him over him. But both Germans. He obviously wants to play the German. Obviously, the own goal I was fucked off with, as any other fan would be. But then at the same time, to get the win and the 3 points, that's what matters at the end of the day. He played well after that, made up for it. So it's still a positive performance.
That's exactly it. Well, yeah. There you go, boys. Rounding up the Chelsea games, but moving on to a controversial game of my own team. Arsenal 1, Wolves 2. Now, I just want to... Sorry, Nick? Shut the fuck up. You've had your time now. Really good donkey.
Let him vent.
Let me vent. All right. Look, first of all, I just want to clear the air by basically saying... Nah, it's not even his fault, but I'm just want to clear the air before we get into that. Gian Martino goal, nothing you can do about that. It's a long shot, great goal, nothing you can do. Simple as that. However, basically their goal is complete bollocks. It should never have standed. If any of you have seen the content that fucking got put onto him, it's a joke. They're actually like claiming it to be, so if any contact happens now, it's a penalty. What? Use a bit of common sense. What if I give you like a little tapper like that? What, is that a fucking penalty now? It's a fucking joke, honestly. It's a state. And there's the way as well, similar to that Southampton red card with Shavez and United, when he fouled Martial. Exactly the same foul on Luis and William Jose. But yeah, his gets like rescinded and ours don't. Ours is still holding. It's like they've got an agenda against us. It's an actual joke. But for that game, Wolves Arsenal, I got to admit, for the first half, we played outstanding football. Pepe masterclass has come back. I swear down. He's found his little niche, and he is absolutely beast. He's performing so well. Saka is doing his bit on the right. You know, Lacazette is obviously that target man. Nothing to be. It's a little bit of competition now for Aubameyang, because Aubameyang, when he comes on the pitch now, I love the man. Do you know what I mean? He's the GOAT. But recently, he's not been performing like to what you'd expect the prime Aubameyang to be doing. And you know, when he subbed on against Wolves, there wasn't really much to be seen of Aubameyang. But for me, that game was completely rigged. Craig Pawson can go fuck himself. For like the worst ref performance I've ever seen happen against us. It's a joke. How is that a red card? You've taken yourself over to that monitor to check if it's a red card, and you think we're at your big age, that's a red card. Joke. Absolute joke. And then obviously, because the fact that we conceded that, we're down to 10 men. What happens? We lose our heads. Second half, Leno's a donkey, comes back out and handballs it off and gets a red card as well. And we have to play the Icelandic man, Runnison. It's just what a problem after another, isn't it? It's like what's going right for us at the end of the day? Like
two red buses, they come at the same time.
Yeah, look, Leno's red card is a red card. He's a spastic for handballing that. You know, he could have done a classic like Man City Edison and just fucking binged it out with his head.
Or fucking Neuer. Neuer loves one of them.
Yeah, exactly. Or just volleyed it somehow. I don't know, but he's just misjudged that. Fucking hell, can't speak. Misjudged that really badly and just got a red card for it. Absolute stupid. And I hate the Wolves players as well. Do you see them as well? Sniffing the ref's arse by going, give him a red. Fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Where's the sportsmanship in this game anymore? It's a joke. Which we'll move on to you, Nick, in your fucking game with about Salah dive as well. It's a joke. Honestly, there's so much
like you
wrong.
Were saying about the Wolves. Like, it's not even like about the refs. Like, it's not even about VAR. Like, I have nothing to say about VAR. It's like the shit refs that are using
shit refs,
in this country and the shit rules. Nothing to do with VAR.
Clue.
Yeah, they've got no clue.
Like Mike Dean on the weekend.
Useless. Paul Tierney, useless. Mike Oliver, useless. Lee Mason,
they've
useless.
They've been given a toy and they don't know how to use it.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah, they've literally been given this amount of power and just said, use it as you wish. Whoever you want to win the game, you can go win the game for them. You can dish out cards like it's no tomorrow. It's a fucking joke. Yellow cards are dished out like it's nothing. Like, you can make a solid tackle, get the ball, and it's all of a sudden like a yellow. You're like, okay, what? But
it's like what you were saying about the United Southampton, the Martial challenge. I mean, the first red card, I feel sorry for that. Player. Yeah. It was his debut, and he's like 18.
Yeah.
And obviously pressure got to him. He just dived in. That's why, obviously, I'm going to say. But that is why United scored so many, because Southampton let their heads go down, and it was run right after that. But Bednarek said on the second challenge that Martial, as he went off, he just said it wasn't even a red himself. Like, it's like he said as getting fouled that it weren't a red. It's like, so the refs are giving them out like willy-nilly.
It makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think what's going on, like with the refs. Do they actually like have a bit of bias in them when you're thinking, I want this team to win now or something like that? Because it's a joke. It's happened so many times nowadays. Sometimes you'd think, oh, VAR's a joke because offside this is moving like that much of an offside. Look, VAR is VAR. Like, I don't like it, but it is what it is. But refs nowadays are a fucking joke. The Premier League refs are blowing up on everything, and to wrap it up on that Wolves game.
Decisions. Sorry, I was just going to say, I think crucial decisions is good for like offsides where you can't really tell, but sometimes they even get that wrong with you know, lining up their arms. Like, we're not playing NBA. We're not.
Do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like, we're playing football here, and it's
a contact sport.
There's so much debate about it ruining the game, but it's big and crucial decisions. But other than that, I think that there's so many soft red cards and
a joke, isn't it?
So many challenges where they actually like take to the monitor, and you think there's nothing in that. It's literally just like part of being a contact sport, you know?
Exactly that. But yeah, to wrap up on that Wolves game, I think there was an agenda against us that game. That was a joke of a game. Too much went wrong that game, and we lost 3 points in the day. We dominated the first half, and that's it. But moving on to the next game after that, another agenda against us. Fucking hell. Villa, sneaky little goal against us. Look, it's a little shit goal as well. Cedric, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden,
he's been playing well as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's one mistake. I understand, but that is a poor pass. Like, and then it's a little shit goal as well when it nutmegged and then went through. Like, Matt Rowan,
Ollie Watkins is always going to finish that, and he's so clinical.
Yeah,
he's so clinical in front of goal. But it's another. Like, you started off fucking like right at the bottom. You hit her on a form. You was coming up the table, weren't you? Like 7th, wherever you were. You were on the rise, but yet again, it's like you played, as you were saying, you did play really well against Wolves in the first half, and then it was just a red card that shouldn't have been that made
just ruined the game. It ruined the momentum of it.
And then Leno is just, you know, he was just a complete donkey for that. You don't do that, and then that made you go downhill even more. Like, your heads just went down.
9 men.
Lost the 3 points, so that put you down for the next game. Villa are on good form at the moment, so you went into that game missing 2 players, and then they got the goal and sort of saw it out, and you're sort of dropping down again. You need to find run a form again because you're only going to go down now. Like, you need to find that run of form that you covered instead of hitting a rock again and losing like 3, 4, 5 games on the bounce, you know.
What I was seeing in that game as well towards the end of like the half an hour of that like Villa Arsenal game is it was just sideways football from us as well. There was no urge to take risks and try and like make a sneaky turn from Lacazette to try and score. There was none of that. There was just like, let's go from Cedric to Bellerin to Cedric, and then go to the back, and then go to Xhaka. Xhaka goes back again. Consistent, just fucking football at the back. Why? I don't understand. With 1-0 fucking down, you subbed on Willie and Aubameyang and like Odegaard in the fucking 70th minute for attacking football, and you still play around the fucking back. That pissed me off because, do you know what I mean? We're trying to get a point here, even scavenge a point against Villa, and you're just playing it sideways. Do you know what I mean? Just take a look at yourself. It's a joke.
Hey, quick question about you. What do you think of Willian being your top assist maker in the Premier League this season?
Who?
Willian.
Really?
Yeah. I just want to... Yeah, he is. He's got the most assists of 3.
Fair enough.
Would you like to give him some praise?
Yeah, fair enough. Look, if he's up there, then fair enough.
Retirement, having to come in and do the work for you.
That's the Fulham game, right? Isn't it? That's just all the Fulham game, isn't it?
No, look,
he's got 3 assists. He's got
previously, look, he had 1 good game against Fulham at the start of the season, and he just dropped downhill. You guys can't say he didn't, because he did. He had a few shit games where he kept giving the ball away, so you can understand my frustration throughout the past. But look, as you say, stats don't lie. If he's up there with the top assists, then fair play to him. We'll give him a bit of praise. Why not?
You'd think that Saka, Smith Rowe, Lacazette, Aubameyang, they'd all be doing it for you as your top players. But a player like Willian, he's come in, he's old, he's been turfed by us.
He's old. He's not as if he's retirement home.
Not old, but old for a football player like these days. Yeah. You know, he's not far off of retiring, but he was unbelievable for us over the years. The amount of crucial goals he's got us and stuff. But he's sort of come, like as you said, he's run hot and cold. But yeah, he's like you would expect like Lacazette to be like clear of him on assists, or maybe just have 2 or 3 ahead. But it proves that he can still do the job for any other team as well as Chelsea. I'm real with us, he's doing all right.
Something I brought up earlier in I think one of the first actual episodes of this podcast was just there's no urge from our team. It's the older fellas that just don't give a shit anymore. It's more or less let's say Odegaard, Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka, and now Pepe stepping up to the cards a bit as well. They're the ones who actually want to play for the fucking club. But you see, the older lot, who just don't care. They play with the ball, and if they lose the ball, they're walking back. It's just a shambles. And there needs to be there needs to be something in the dressing room in Arsenal where there's an alpha, where literally just a Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira that just goes into that dressing room and says, "You all played fucking dog shit, and you need to step it up." There needs to be that mentality in that.
You need a Bruno-esque someone.
You need someone who's just going to tell them they're shit and they need to pick it up, otherwise they're fucked. Basically,
Terry was a leader for us. He, always said it.
See what I mean? Do you need that kind of leader? Even a Vieira for us, back in the day, just someone who can just lay it to you how it is. Fuck the amount of money you earn. Fuck who you are. Fuck your ego for the moment. You're playing shit at the moment, so pick it up a bit, fix it. Do you know what I mean? But
another thing is with the Arsenal, I think to make the situation worse, I think Partey went off injured, didn't he? So it's just
it's a muscle injury.
Really bad. It's a muscle injury. To try and get something running, but it's difficult missing players,
Yeah, but that's my rant over. I honestly thought I was in a agenda against us in both their games, but what can you do? Is what it is, isn't it? But moving on, boys, to Radia's team. Radio, moving on. Your first game, City 2, Burnley 0. Easy win, I guess, for you. What do you think about that?
I'm not going to start speak about that one, but I think, Burnley away, no matter where Burnley are on the table, it's always one of the places that I see is if you win there, then it's good sign for your title hopes, because Burnley away is never an easy game. You see them always get results against big teams there, and we sort of made it look comfortable with the 2-0 win. So not much to say about it, but it was just
very simple and clear. Easy 3 points. Yeah. Moving on to the Liverpool City game, then 4-1, a juicy win. But before you go into that, I want to reach back into our old video when combined 11 of City Liverpool, when we all chose Ederson in goal and Amir chose Alisson. Amir, would you stick with that choice at the moment after that performance against City?
Yeah, I won't judge him off one game for sure.
Yeah?
I would still pick Alisson. Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Anyone else want to stick with Ederson or change to Alisson?
Yeah, those mistakes really made me want to change to Alisson.
No, I just funny. I don't know. It was just link in the bio for TikTok because it was a funny TikTok that we put out. But anyway, right, moving on to Nick. What do you think about that game, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, we started really, really aggressively within the first 20 minutes, and then obviously Liverpool started to slowly ease their way back into the game. Mm-hmm. And then the only thing I'd say is that obviously we got the penalty and called it again. We seem to have a problem with our penalties recently, which needs to be sorted out. But then, Gundogan showing his class this season again.
Yeah.
Comes through, gets the goal. And Salah, I don't want to go too much into this, but Salah.
Here we go.
It's a dive, and he's shown it so many time and time again. Same with David Luiz situation. There was minimal contact, and even if he did contact him, you could see that Stones was there about to clear the ball. Just had a heavy touch. Don't understand what the ref is doing, giving the penalty there. But anyway, it ended up being that we sort of took control in the second half, came out, made that tactical change, and put Foden up front, and it seemed to work really well because he then sort of the link up was really good up front.
Yeah.
Foden obviously got that amazing goal at the end, and Gundogan and Sterling with the other ones after Alisson's mistakes. But I think either way, we sort of made that game look quite comfortable.
Yeah, gas little 4-win. It's nice and simple. But with that Salah one as well, do you boys actually think that people let's say for example you rewatch that and you're thinking that's a dive? Do you think they should be punished nowadays because it's happening too much recently? Too many people think they watch that and they think I can get away with this. I'm not going to get punished for this, so I'm going to go down as easy as possible. Salah, Ruben Dias just pulled him back a tiny bit and he went down as if someone just broke half his leg. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
He's been known for it, Salah.
Yeah, but do you think they should get punished for it a lot more? Because
They should be the ones getting 3-match ban instead of the players at the moment that are getting red for proper trivial fouls, you know?
Yeah, exactly that. Like I understand part of it as well when it says like contact. When they say they use that term very, very like softly when they say, like because there's contact, it's a definite red card. Like that. Use your common sense. Like the people who make the rules don't understand that. Like contact, everyone can see. If you clearly wipe someone out, everyone's like, yeah, red card because you've fucking taken him out. But like David Luiz red card, never. This like Ruben Diaz, this wasn't even yellow, soft. Do you know what I mean?
I think what needs to be looked into as well is that if you could, if a player dives once and it's a one-off thing, okay, right, you can maybe overlook it.
Warning.
But when you see consistency, like someone like Salah and Grealish, and you see it constantly happening, I think it actually needs to be taken. Like, I think they do
seriously,
have a suspension because it's consistent. It's not like it's just a one-off and they've done it to, it's consistent.
Because stuff like that could really change like the outcome of the game as well. Really, like, do you know what I mean? You could be 0-0, for example, and then let's say you were 0-0, Nick, in the 88th minute, and then Salah goes down in the 89th minute. Boom, and you lose 1-0, and you're like, it's just stupid like shit like that I can guarantee.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. With that, am I the only one who thinks that wasn't a dive? I know he made him.
I'm going to say the opposite point as well. Yeah. I think it's a pen.
I know he touched him, but do you not think sometimes Salah's got to do the extra stuff to get the pen?
Yeah, of course. All right, it is debatable it's a pen, isn't it? But I think that he was very easily.
That's why I say though they use the term contact very lightly, don't they?
Yeah.
But maybe he has to do that to like influence the ref to get the pen to try
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
If they want to change the rules, they're more than welcome to do it. But right now, with the rules in the game, I would do what Salah did. I want to tell my
but that's what I'm saying. The rules currently are a fucking disgrace. Like whoever makes these new rules, when they say rule update, fuck off. Like, do you know what I mean? Even De Bruyne, for example, a couple months ago, when he was in the interview saying, "Look, I don't even know what the fucking rules are anymore."
Yeah.
Even the players, top players, saying they don't know what the rules are. That just shows. Stop messing it about.
Of course, Shavez would do it because he's being fucking weaselly about it.
Yeah. But Nick, do you not like think that was a pen with the rules in the game?
No. Jokes aside, of course. I think it's debatable, but as I said, like Salah is well known for easily going down any little touch, like what I said on the other video, and I've gone over a couple of times that back in the day, you just get on with it, but now it's just about this VAR's coming. It's really, really mollycoddled the league, and it's really
it's too like put the magnifying glass onto it now, isn't it?
It's like going back to I was saying like if it was Henderson that dived, I would have been like, well, he's not exactly somebody who's known for diving. He shouldn't have done it, but he's not somebody who's consistent with it. Yeah. Let's go to Salah, and everybody knows he does it. It needs to be like action needs to be taken.
Yeah, it does. It's like Salah, Grealish. I know you're gonna hate me, Shavez, but Martial, like people like who are renowned for like diving, should really like watch themselves. And something should be definitely taken up on that because it's starting to get on everyone's nerves. But,
I just wouldn't call it a dive though.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame the players.
I'm not blaming the players, but like I'm blaming like the people in charge of the entire game. Like I know I'm not blaming it. It's like pale's a pen because like in our eyes it's not a pen, but rules say it is. So look, it is what it is, isn't it?
I just want to add about the City game as well, Nick. As we're all saying like about Pep style of football and going and runs of form. Wonder what, like, I'm just going to say this now. That's exactly why I chose Foden as my young player of the year. What a player he is. Yeah, like, he brings so much. Yeah. He brings like at least 70% of your chances. He causes down that right hand side. And he's so versatile, as Richards was saying as well. He can play on the right, the left, central as a false nine, play in the middle. And that's exactly why, because he's such a good up and coming talent, and it's positive for England as well. Think of the talent we got on the right.
Yeah,
that's exactly why I chose him, because, as I said before, he is your best footballer behind De Bruyne, 100%.
It should be exciting once De Bruyne comes back as well.
Yeah, what a player is, fucking quality.
It's like I think it's like you were saying, it's giving me the confidence to sort of think that once De Bruyne does eventually leave, retire, whatever, I completely trust Foden in that role to sort of take over. And, even he could even the way he's going to do better than before for us. So
yeah.
If it doesn't happen, you can just splash 300 million on another account.
Yeah.
Dan, what was your point?
Like, yeah,
we
like he did
it. I think Dan had a point, didn't he?
Yeah, no, it was just to play devil's advocate again with the penalty point. I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it before. For example, like the whole contact thing, obviously, whereas Elliot was going like minimal, but the rules are if there's contact, it's a penalty. For example, like Salah, for example, if he's running at full speed and someone nudges into him or brushes him, he's going to go down a lot easier or be put off balance or stumble a lot easier, as opposed to say someone that's built a bit more like
me,
Ruben Diaz, or if he's running or someone or another big attacker, he won't go off balance as much. Therefore, he won't be as likely to go down. So I agree with the rules, but it's player to player. It does very much depend on the style and the player.
Also depends on the challenge as well, because every challenge is different, and how the player interprets. You know, how if they get the ball, or if they get more of the player, or that all lays it down to the ref's decision and Stockton Park. But
well, I guess we've all had our own kind of rant about what kind of happened about match week 22 and 23's games. But anyone else got anything to add before we move on to Dan?
Quickly, I'm just going to say go on, you go.
One thing as well. Okay, mine was completely unrelated. I think Rudiger will be an Arsenal player in a few years. I just want this to be clipped, so when it happens, we'll have it on record.
Okay.
Why would Rudiger be an Arsenal player? I just think
when he plays his bit at Chelsea, he'll eventually move on.
Like retirement home here.
Maybe. I'm not sure why that's a bit random. Yeah. Mind you,
I just wanted to be that.
The new Fabrizio Romano.
Could be the same as Maguire, Lindelof. They could go there. You never know. But it's like what we've done with Louise and Willian and Czech. We do like turfing them off to Arsenal, but
and you got Giroud, so.
Yeah, he come to us to win stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's done well with it.
And quickly, I just wanted to say, City's. It makes it more impressive. They're doing it without a striker. That's just
true.
I wanted to get
very true. Phil Foden. I didn't expect that boy to play out front, and he'd done a job up there. So fair play.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so versatile, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a player every team wants at this current time. But Dan. We'll see 1 or 2 minutes with Daniel, because I know you are very, very angry at Watford at this moment. So we are partaking in the minute with Daniel. So Daniel, say your piece.
I ain't going to call it a minute this week because I could go on for ages. But since the last podcast, we've lost 2-1 to QPR and drew 0-0 with Coventry. Obviously, Nick and Amir had to sit through the shit show that was watching Spurs play. That was an awful. The Coventry 0, Watford 0 was an awful game. I wasted 2 hours of my life sitting there. And even with the QPR game, it was like this. We're just showing no desire from any of the players, no commitment, no nothing. Someone tweeted the other day. It says a lot about the club when the manager, the players, and the owners have all got big points that you can like point your finger at and say they're at fault. It's like a love triangle of just everyone wanting to be wrong. It's just all going wrong at the minute, and I genuinely think that if we lose to Bristol at the weekend, he'll be sacked again.
Oh, wow. Your club loves sacking managers, don't they?
I'm not saying I want him to be. I don't think it was the right appointment in the first place, but he's here now, so we have to deal with what.
Who would you have wanted?
Why don't you go for a managerial position?
Why don't you get Pep Guardiola? Oh, fucking, I can't even speak. What did I say?
Pep Guardiola.
Go, yeah.
Get Lampard in.
Get Lampard, yeah. Get
Frank. I think that's definitely lowering his standards, though. But
who would you say, Dan? Who's your appointment that you would want?
What about Louis van Gaal?
That's definitely lowering his standards.
Most respectable manager is going to come to us at the moment. There's no way about that.
I don't think any manager's kind of like attracted to you because you're most likely going to sack him within about 2-3 months anyway.
Yeah, Gary Neville.
Yeah.
But no,
Guy hasn't even settled down yet, and he's already going.
I don't think it's the right appointment first off by the owners at all. Like Georgian league, yeah, fair enough, but he's got holiday experience. I know, obviously, you can very often find a gem like the Brentford manager hadn't been there before. and stuff like that. And obviously, every so often you'll find a good manager that's buried somewhere. But he hasn't done enough. Obviously, I know, as I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm not against. I don't think managers should take all of the blame. Like quite a lot should land on the players. Our January transfer window wasn't good enough. They come out in the summer.
You signed Bergkamp, greatest signing you ever make.
To be fair, our under 23s had a better transfer window than our first team. We scored the other day, Bergkamp.
Yes, of course he did. The goat, look, the goat's son. Of course he did.
But in the summer, they come out and Scott Duxbury said basically that we've got Ivic, we've got the squad, we're happy with the squad, we'll readdress the issues in January. Well, we sacked the manager before it got round to January. We've got in another manager.
You let go of James Garner.
Oh, look.
He started off well, as I said to you. He started off well. He just filtered off. He just didn't carry on. And we finished the transfer window weaker than we started.
Wow,
massively weaker. We've got one left back in our squad, and we're getting someone from some old Newcastle player that's played like less than 2,000 minutes of football.
Well, like
in the
Darry
last 4 years. Darry Yanmat's a baller.
No, Darry Yanmat.
A baller?
Awful.
Yeah,
do you say
he scores
baller?
good goals. Yeah, he scores good goals.
Dan, I just want to mention though, what you were saying about like how when we played Spurs and we were completely dominant, they were never in it. They were just like so off the pace. That was the exact same.
Spurs.
Like watching Spurs' team, like how awful they were, and we just cruised past them. It's like the Watford Coventry game is so boring, like so end to end. Like there's just nothing in it.
So we had 13 shots, 3 on target. That's atrocious.
That is disgustingly shit. Yeah,
it's terrible.
Before that, we had. Let me just get this up there with 10 shots, 4 on target. So a little bit better. But again, another game we lost. We had chance after chance after chance after chance after chance.
Just not putting them away.
Chance, and we
damn the stat man.
Yeah.
Like everyone for years has seen we've needed a striker, and we've brought Pedro in and Parita in, and they're stuck on the bench in place.
Can I just ask a question, Dan?
Yeah, go on. Fire away.
What do you think of Andre Gray, mate?
Great question. That is a fantastic question.
And I'll try and keep it PG because I, don't get cancelled or anything. I hate the guy. But to keep it short and sweet, he hasn't exactly set the world on fire, has he? Whilst been at Watford, or with 1 goal in his last 32 games or whatever it is, and that he didn't know anything about. There was a thread on Twitter the other day that said he scored 4 goals in the last 2 years. One was a penalty against Spurs in a pre-season friendly. One came off his shin, and he didn't know anything about. One was a clearance from the defender that hit him in the arse. Like he's just not.
All right,
I've said it before. I've said it before. If you were to put us lot up front, I reckon we'd score more than 1 goal in 30 games.
Dan, just to end Watford, Dan, do you think yes or no, just yes or no, and then we're done with Watford because there's too much Watford. Are you going to get promoted this season?
Currently standing, no.
All right, fair enough.
That's all we
Things can change, but
yeah,
that's all that matters.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, to us, to Premier League fans, yeah.
I don't care anything else.
Scared that we'll beat you again.
Well done.
Anyway, boys.
He's the only one that can talk. He's the only one that can result against.
Yeah, true.
I was going to say, I'm not.
Yeah, it's constant abuse. That's all it is. It's constant abuse.
Anyway, boys, what an episode it has been. It's been actually quite enjoyable, to be fair. Thank you, everyone, who has watched today. As I said earlier, a link in the bio for all our social media pages as well. I think we've got our Twitter and TikTok up now, so go take a check at them. But for the moment, I think you'll see us in a week as well when we take a look at our combined 11. I think it's, who is it? Leicester, Liverpool and City. No, who is it?
Leicester, Liverpool, City and Tottenham.
Okay, a combined 11 of all of those teams. So stay tuned for that in the middle of the week. And we'll be back next Monday again for episode 9 as well. So for the meantime, take care.